Do you ever feel like you need to revive your prayer life? Do you want to have personal time with Jesus again? If so, this video is for you because I will share how I set up my prayer journal. Hi guys, my name is Kayeramos. Welcome to my YouTube channel, A Piece of K, where I share some lifestyle, inspiration, and devotional videos. On my last video, I shared about how I start my day right, and that includes writing on my prayer journal. Like what I said in that video, I prefer writing my prayers because it helps me to be more focused and not get easily distracted. So this is the setup that works for me. That's why I have some tips for you. My first tip is to choose a location where you feel comfortable and free from distractions. It's very important that it must be free from any distraction, especially from your phone or any other electronic device. Most of the times, I pray on my bed, but when days are gloomy, I prefer getting up and praying near a huge window. I bring in with me my warrior supplies, which include the Bible, my notebook, my colorful pens, and ruler. You can also set up your own warrior supplies. Do you know that Jesus himself has a tip for you as mentioned in Matthew 6 verses 6? He said, "But when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Then your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you." Jesus wants your prayer time to be extremely personal and not something you do just to show off. Second is, I like to start with a short prayer by asking God to give me wisdom to understand His message for me that day. So before I start any in-depth prayer, I like to read a chapter or two in the Bible. And this portion really created a tremendous difference in my prayer life. You guys, I cannot emphasize the importance of reading a Bible verse or Bible chapter. In the past, my prayer is all about telling God about my request, what I want from Him, what I want Him to give me. But as I grow in the Word, I appreciate the different side of praying. By reading the Bible first, I am also able to examine myself in relation to that scripture on that particular day. So this step gave me an opportunity to have an in-depth conversation with God. This also gives me the opportunity to quote a specific Bible verse to remind God about His promises. Please don't get me wrong, not that God forgets about the promises, but He likes it when we draw closer to Him. My third tip for you is to have a notebook for your prayer. I only have one notebook both for my Bible study and prayer journal. Why? Because I am able to relate my prayers to the Bible reading. So you can choose any notebook that you want, but it really helps if the notebook is cute, because if you're a notebook junkie like me, it will inspire you to keep writing. Now this is where the most interesting things happen. I write on the notebook like I'm really having a conversation with God. I just scribble all my thoughts. For example, when I've read Genesis 27 verses 19, which is the story of Jacob fooling his father Isaac, I've also examined myself. So part of my prayer is asking God's forgiveness during the times I failed to trust Him and took matters in my own hands in order to get the blessings that I want. I also write my questions to God about things I've read from Scripture, and I tell Him things I'm going through. By writing my prayer, it helps me to brain dump everything I have in mind. You guys, this is so important. I am releasing everything on the paper and believing that God will take care of them. Just write whatever you have in mind on that day because Jesus cares about every single thought you have. Don't worry about your grammar. If it doesn't make any sense, just let your thoughts flow and get lost in your personal moment with Jesus. By doing this, it helps me become calmer and face my days stronger. I just feel like there is a sense of peace after I pour out my prayers on my paper. And writing them also helps me remember God's faithfulness because I get to look at them years from now and realize how awesome God is. So here are my sample prayers based on the scripture I've read on that day. Of course, I have to hide the personal things that I am praying for, but hopefully, this will give you an idea on how I do it. Hopefully, this video inspires you to revive your prayer life. Remember that prayer is your most powerful weapon against the enemy. And whatever you are going through, before you talk to anybody about it, please talk to God about it first. He said in Philippians 4 verses 6, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your request to God." Jesus cares on every detail of your life. It is my prayer that you will restore your personal relationship with Jesus by spending more time with Him in prayer. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you learned something from it. Please don't forget to like and click subscribe. See you next time. Bye!